Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Apex Racing TV and to the SRF Weekend Warriors Series, live from Lime Rock Park and presented proudly by RaceVoice. Well, it is the second to the last round of this wonderful championship, and we are here at the brilliant Lime Rock Park circuit, and an absolute staple in any racing series, and it's just great to be back at this circuit. We've all driven it so many times in Mazda MX-5s, I'm sure, if you are on the iRacing platform. We're here with these SRF Spec Racer Fords tonight. My name's Jack Canal. Alongside me is just Jonathan Grabowski tonight. He's going to be monitoring cameras and also trying to keep up with all the action that's going on here. So, Jonathan, of course, I know this is going to be obviously biased from yourself, but your home circuit here at Lime Rock, what can we expect?
Welcome to my home circuit, Jack. I'm based 4 hours away from Lime Rock, and funny enough, if this was real life, what we'd be doing today is illegal. For some of you out there that know, racing at Lime Rock is illegal on Sundays due to local orders. So I'm excited. It's the classic layout. We bypass Morton Chicane and we have the proper West Bend. So a lot different compared to what we experienced a week ago, where there actually is a decent amount of runoff at Barcelona. There is literally no runoff here at Lime Rock Park, Jack.
No, there absolutely isn't. You've got a little bit of grass kind of section in Sector 1, but then you come up here to where we would just skip the chicane, go flat out up over the top of the rise. Up here, there is little to no runoff here. There's a tiny bit that you can use on the left there, but that's just before it greets the tyre belt. The car lifts off the ground on the way over the top of the bend, and then a big curve on the inside here. Very easy to drift out wide. It's a very high-speed circuit, actually, Lime Rock Park. And then the last corner as well, there's essentially only one line through that corner. You're going to end up out in the grass if you get it wrong through here, as they just break into pit lanes. But they've got to get that pit entry right as David Bum crosses it all up on the way into the pit lane. That's actually probably one of the trickiest pit entries if you want to take it at speed. You got to cut across the car in front if there's a car alongside you and check up on the brakes straight away. So plenty of stuff to do. Of course, we have got our 3 different specs. Of course, the championship situation going into this is, well, pretty much as it stands. Spec number 1, of course, is, well, Aeronom is leading that one by an absolute country mile, 168 points to David Byrne behind it. He's pretty much got the championship in his hand. Florence Arabian in 3rd on 172 points. Then a humongous gap back to Bobby West and 327 points adrift of the leader in that one. Spec 2 is Simon Meyer, who leads ahead of Ian Gibson and Ian Malone. Simon has a 125 point margin going into this round. He's pretty safe. But the one we're keeping our eyes on is the Masters battle that's going on at the moment, which is Tom Gradwell leading the standings by just a measly 39 points ahead of Kenneth Batley. Chris Murakami now 3rd, 54 points off the lead, and Antonio Reyes, who's 87 points off the lead. So the Masters category is the closest fought battle that we have in the championship. The other 2 are basically all said and done, but just like last season, the Masters is going to go to that final round next week, of course, before we have the runoffs, which is rounds out the season. But we've got plenty of action today. There's our lovely timing tower popping up on the left-hand side there, and we'll have, of course, a 40-minute race, 1 mandatory pit stop, and well, we'll have to wait and see what Aeronom is capable of. Of course, that is what I forgot to mention. We have a returning face, Jonathan.
We do. We have a returning face. The guy who was last season's Aeronom and Austin Winter. He's back. And it's funny, when I was kind of doing our prep work prior to the race, I was wondering, I'd like to ask Jack, if, we talked about how great of a season Aeronom's had, and last season Austin Winter had an amazing season. What happened if you put these 2 guys head-to-head on track? Who would you take? And our fantasy is coming true. We're going to have potentially an Austin Winter Aeronom battle here today at Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 former champions of the series in Aeronom, and Austin Winter, last season's Spec 1 champion. He won it by so much, he missed the last 4 rounds and still won the championship. That's how far ahead he was in the end. But Aeronom has done basically what Austin Winter did at last season, and he has a humongous lead going into the last 2 rounds. But here we are, waiting to grid up and get the grid on the screens to see who's going to start from pole position for this race. Well, big surprise. Aeronom on the pole, 55.0 is the pole time, which is stupidly quick. Maurizio Naselli in P2, David Bum in P3, Brandon Roseberry, that's a name we haven't seen, and he's right up at the sharp end there, and you can see less than a 10th between the top 4. Wan Shi Lin, good effort from him in P5, John Payne P6, Austin Winter starts in P7, Marco Pinero in P8, and Christopher Smith and Dudu Castro. Then it's Flavio Andalo and Steve Elson in P12. Marco Pinero, of course, leading the Spec 2 drivers here, of course. And we're going to get rolling away from the grid now for this quite short formation lap around Lime Rock Park. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what all those guys in the top 10, how they're going to fare out once we get to the next few races. Florence Arabian, Ian Gibson, Yao Simpkins, Ken Batley takes the pole in the Masters in front of Stevie Ray, series organizer. Thanks so much for your hard work, Stevie. Jeff Jacobson, then Adam Bradshaw, Dominique Bureau, Roland Wallbank, and Edgar Sancanelli, then Jose Santiago and Mark Guillen. Then Bob Kern, Daniel Engel, David Swig, Alex Rongelbach, Jonathan Migno, and Antonio Race start at the back of the grid. So really interesting to see how this is going to unfold, because well, in SRF standards this is actually quite a small grid. Even, well, we call 30 cars a small grid here in SRF, so we're quite used to having 50 cars on the grid. This week just the 30, but no problems whatsoever as they round the last corner here. It'll be Aeronom once again who controls the pace, and Maurizio Naselli next to him on the order, and then we will get to the start finish in just a moment's time. I'm excited for this one because this could be one of the greatest fights we will see in this series. If Austin Winning gets up at the sharp end, which we know he will, let's see how he gets on. Rolling start here, rolling down the pit straight, not going just yet. Now Aeronom goes, green flag drops at Lime Rock for this next round of the championship. Aeronom, beautiful start from him as he heads through turn 1, and immediately now up the inside goes David Bum, trying to take Maurizio Naselli's place. P2 side by side, but Aeronom absolutely stonking start right there up to P1, but Naselli's having trouble now with David Bum, who's fighting away with him into turn 2 they go, and manages to get himself through into P2. But that was a brilliant start from Aeronom. Just kind of left everybody standing, so he obviously went when nobody was expecting it.
Yeah, great start for Aeronom, and it looks like everyone made it through the first few turns, so kudos to everyone. The first turn here at Lime Rock is a really difficult turn. It's intimidating, and there's a reason why there's so much runoff, at the end of it, because you may think it's pretty simple, but it's not. But great start for Aeronom. I want us to watch as we look at on screen. Oh, we get a few guys running off as they come out of West Bend. And it looks like they got a few guys back. It's like Sanchinelli and a few other guys. That is a really difficult turn to get through at times, the West Bend. Up, and
yeah,
Naselli's off. Is that Aeronom?
Off, we got one off at the first corner. That is Aeronom. I think it is Nom and Naselli. And Nom drops to 17th. How about that? Naselli into 15th. David Bum now leads the race. Brandon Rose were P2. Wan Shi Lin in P3. And well, that is, we don't see them go off that. Normally not that early, but David Bum now leads. And look at that. There's damage on the front. I think there might have been a small bit of damage on the front of Brandon Roseberry's car. It's quick fixed, it looks like, as they come up and over the hill here at Lime Rock. Down the hill they go.
Let's take a look at what happened here.
Running nicely, P3.
Here's Naselli.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, Nom went off by himself.
That's Naselli.
And Naselli just followed.
Let's take a look at what happened to Nom here. And this track is weird, like, 'cause you get sucked into other people's offs. Yep, Nom just went off by himself. And Lime Rock does have that way. It just there's like a vortex or something like that just sucks you in when people go off at Lime Rock Park. So, but we know Aeronom can come from the back. We saw it at Watkins Glen a few weeks ago.
Absolutely, yeah. So expect them to make a charge through the field, but that is such an easy thing to do. Is that once you get on the grass out there, you've just got to come off the throttle and just wait and wait and wait to get back on it. As so, boom to the front. Roseberry, Lynn, Payne, Austin Winner, P5. He's got the two Spec 2 guys behind him, Marco Panero and Dudu Castro, running in P6 and P7. And Florence Arabian is in the middle of all those guys. Stevie Ray leads the Masters at the moment in front of Kenneth Batley. There is Stevie Ray in the RaceVoice liveried car. He's just about to get overtaken by Maurizio Naselli, so that's going to be a pretty simple move for Maurizio Naselli anyways. Kenneth Batley P2. I have noticed, well, the Masters category I think is actually going to be even more interesting because I don't actually see any sign of Tom Gradwell on the grid today, so that could be a big gain for Batley in the championship going into the final round of the season. So I have to wait how that goes, and we'll wait to see as well. I'm also not seeing Simon Meyer on the grid.
I was just looking through. I don't see Simon Meyer. I don't see Chris Murakami. So big day potentially for Ken Batley in the Masters division. As we talked about earlier, that's the points race. That's the only one really up in the air at this point now. So see what happens with that.
Yeah, so Batley's got to try and get as many points as he can. He does see as they come down the front straight. Roseberry, I can tell you there is another car up behind David Bum going into turn 1 there. Wan Shi Lin closing in on those guys in front. The Chinese driver making good progress, 55.2 on that previous lap from Wan Qilin. Then it's Payne behind, and then Austin Winner here's on board with Wan Qilin as they come through turn 3. Little wiggle from Rosberg there. That's going to cost a huge amount of momentum in these cars, and you can see Wan Qilin closing up to the back of Brandon Rosberg up through the fast right, up and over the top of the hill. Car gets really light there, nearly lifts off the ground, and then second to last corner backing off just to make sure you're keeping that toe. And you got to be very careful with taking too much curb on the inside, because it'll spit you out to the left if you're too greedy on the curb through there. But these top 3 breaking away now from Payne. There's Austin Winner going for a move behind. He's trying to get past Payne here into turn 1, and through he goes. The last season's champion up to 4th now. Wan Qilin, another fastest lap, a 55.1 on that lap there. So with Aero Nom setting a similar time down in P13, he tries to make his way through, but the fastest man at the moment is Wan Qilin out on the track at the moment. There is Aero Nom, and he's up behind a big chunk of cars. He's got Stevie Ray in front of him, he's got Jan Simpkins and Maurizio Naselli in front. So Naselli's actually made quicker progress through this field than Aero Nom. So I wonder is well, maybe that's there could be a small bit of damage in Aero Nom's car, but he actually didn't hit anything. So it could be just Naselli's made up some quick places. So Naselli in front of Nom, and well, considering how far down he is, I wouldn't put it past Aero Nom, depending on how quickly he gets through all the traffic, for him to go for an early stop. And has Wan Qilin just taken 2 places in turn 1, fighting away? I think he's just taken the lead off the both. Yes, he has.
Yes, he has.
Past 2 cars. David Bum up the inside. No, Wan Qilin gets past both of them and leads at Lime Rock. So that was a superb effort from the Chinese driver. And Lin leads from Bum and Rosberg. Let's have a quick look to see if we can see what happened here. But I tell you what, he used that toe beautifully down the front straight, and it just shows you that the slipstream's so effective and opportunistic from Wan Qilin there to nip it up there and take that position away from the 2 of them as they fought it out. And he now takes the lead, but that's not going to be the end of it, I'm sure, because look at this from David Bum, and Brandon Rosberg is bump drafting David Bum down the front straight as well as they come towards turn 1. Bum's looking to go through, decides not to, and they file their way through. You can also see behind Austin Winner, Payne and Pinero, they're all working with each other to try to close up to these guys as well. There's Austin Winner in the 33, Marco Pinero there in the 216. He's Spec 2, don't forget, so he's leading that class. Duda Castro's P2 in that one, and then Smith P3 in that class as well, as we file up towards the middle sector now. Good drive up the hill there from Marco Pinero. Trying to get up behind the 22 car here. Trying to get a move done here. He's also got Florence Arabian right behind him. As John Payne's going to try keep both of these guys behind him here. Around the right hand here, Florence Arabian with a great... He had to back off on the way through there. Did Florence Arabian. So he's going to try get a move done on Marco Pinero here for position in this race up to P6. He's looking for here inside line for Arabian. Easy move. Pinero opened the door for him there and didn't make it hard.
Yeah, great move there by Florence Arabian. We saw Pinero run really, really well last week. He's listed as a Spec 2 driver. If you look at the numbers, those between 0 and 199 are in Spec 1. Those in the 200 to 899 are Spec 2. And then the Masters, as we know, are in the 900 category. We will not be make any Jim Hodgson style jokes about those in the Masters class.
No. Absolutely, nope. Only Jim can do that. As we look now, here's Christopher Smith, who's fighting with Jas Simpkins for P3 in class. They've got 2 very rapid guys in front of them. Naselli and Nom are in front of them, and Aaron Nom's just made his way through past them. As Brandon Rosberg takes, I think he's just done a Wan Qilin into turn 1. He's taken the both of them into the first corner, and yeah, there you go. Brandon Rosberg leads for the first time as they head into the first corner. I'm pretty sure it's an absolute mirror image of the move that Wan Qilin made, and it seems like it's very, very easy. If you're the 3rd car in line, you can easily slot your way past, and Brandon Rosberg proving that, making his way through up to the lead. David Bum follows suit and shuffles one shield in back to P2.
And Jack,
that's over the hill.
And that's so critical at a track like Lime Rock, where there isn't a ton of passing areas. So getting that great run off of West Bend, and being able to get a draft, into one is immense. That's like your one main passing place.
Yeah, so it's really crucial to get that slipstream. As we got John Payne's into pit lane. Very early pit stop for John Payne. He's on his way in as he files down the pit lane. Into there, there's Aeronom just going to turn one as well. He swaps places with Maurizio Naselli. Easy move there. Next up on Nom's list is Dudu Castro. He's just in front of him in Spec 2. Thought about chucking up the inside there. Wasn't able to do it.
Looks like Ian Gibson went off track. Let's take a look at that. I think he might have overcooked it. Let's see. Oh. Yep, Gibson overcooked it.
That's not what Ian needs, because remember, he's P2 in the Spec 2 standings, and he needs to catch up to Simon Meyer here, because Simon's not here this week. So it is a great opportunity for Gibson to get some points back. Down the front straight they come. Swap in the background, Castro on Smith back into the second place of Spec 2, and they continue to fight for position there at the head of the field. So very early stops. John Payne drops to 25th. Antonio races into pit lane as well. He was further up the field, but I think he's had to pit for damage. So it's still in the Masters. Stevie Ray, Kenneth Batley, and Bob Kern. 1, 2, and 3 in there. There's Stevie Ray chasing after Jas Simpkins up in front of him. And then it's Spec 2. It's Panero, Castro, Smith who are leading those. There is Marco Panero, who's giving Florence Arabian a hard time right now. Well, of course, he led him through to charge up to these guys in front, and he's making good use of Florence Arabian here. You can see Austin Winner kind of on his own there in P4, not able to get any positions up because he's got nobody to work with. So I'm pretty sure shortly Arabian and Panero will close up to him, and maybe they can start working with each other here. But still no changes up the front. It's still Brandon Roseborough who leads, and he's managed to hang on to this lead. As well, in front of him now, that is, I believe, Antonio Race, actually, who's now a lap down, and he's got the leaders up behind him here. And the thing about Lime Rock is it's very tricky to find a place to let the leaders through, and I don't think Roseborough is going to be best pleased here, because he's got up behind Antonio Race, but also he will get the tow from Antonio down the straight here, which may help him to keep these guys behind, but he'll be wanting and Race to try and move out of the way as quickly as he can. But Race moves over to the right, but trying to break the toe maybe, as now he backs off, and Roseborough tries to get the toe off him down the straight, and he manages to hang on for now. As Stevie Ray is into pit lane, leader of the Masters category, pitting very early. We're seeing very early stops here, Johnny B. Let's see what's happened.
Yeah, really interesting that we've had some early stops here. I mean, we saw Aeronom try to play that game a few weeks ago. He tried it last week as well and succeeded. But yeah, it's interesting to see what happens. Maybe guys just want to get out of traffic. We'll find out.
Yeah, it's going to be see where he comes out. John Payne comes out in front of him. So that's the man with the early stop. This is Edgar Sancanelli, and that is a lot of smoke in front. I think that's Jas Simpkins who might have had an off there. Just in front, I think he's just rejoined. Yeah, he has. So Simpkins made a small error, and he's come now into this battle here. He's Kenneth Batley now leads the Masters, of course, and he cannot afford to get caught up in an instant today, because this could mean a huge amount in the championship going into the last round. Kenneth Batley with no Tom Gradwell here today, so Batley needs the results here, and just needs to make sure he keeps out of the instance. A big slipstream now on Sancanelli. He doesn't go for the move. Jeff Jacobson fancies a look up the inside, and he does make the move stick and gets himself through up the inside. Now he drops into a battle for his own class, though. Bob Curran right behind him in the 916. As you can see, Jacobson trying to make up places here. He's in Spec 1. He's trying to carve his way through these guys, but Batley now in a battle with Bob Curran. And let's see if he can hang on to that position, because every single point will count in this battle, and now they've got to contend with the fact that Stevie Ray's made an early pit stop as well. So, and Stevie's come out in about 10 seconds of clean air as well, which is exactly what he needs.
Yeah, it's a real risk-reward race for Batley, because you want to do well, but also at a track like Lime Rock where it's so easy to run off course and make a mistake that, you know, it's really weighing up your options. You know, how hard do I want to race, guys, in the situation, or do I just want to play the long game today?
Yeah, you got to be always trying to think about. Obviously, it's hard to think of your championship as well on top of everything, but you can see back to Brandon Roseborough, who's still in the lead. As you can see, Austin Winner has been passed by Florence Arabian, so they're now with each other. Those three guys, and now even more traffic for Brandon Roseborough here. We haven't really seen too much of this season. It's just such a short track. It's going to be a lot of lap traffic here, as now you can see Roseborough has to dive right over to the pit wall to get round the 420 there. And now look at Wan Chi Lin, going to make it 3 abreast down the straight. Lin going to go for the double on the inside, hops the curve there and spins. Round goes Wan Chi Lin.
Oh no, Austin Winner!
And Austin Winner and Marco Panera in that massive incident there.
No.
So unfortunate for those that, and even more nearly, surely not know, they managed to get through, but Wan Chi Lin spinning in front of the field collects Florence Arabian, collects Austin Winner and multiple others, and oh, that's so unlucky for those guys. But we'll have a look at that again, I'm sure.
Second here. Let me just pull it up.
Yeah, Wan Chi Lin gets caught up in that. Austin Winner has to tow back to pit lane as well. Let's have a look at this again from the overboard shot. You can see it's 3 abreast on the way into there. Gets the move on the inside, clouts the curb, over rotates. Boom, manages to back up a little bit, collects. Oh, Florence Arabian was just so unlucky there, as was Austin Winner. Panero comes into the high rate of speed there, and there wasn't a hell of a lot they could do right there, but great avoiding action by David Bohm right there to get round them and carry on. But that's given Brandon Roseborough a second lead. But look at that now. Norman Naselli are now 3rd and 4th after that incident, so they're perfectly happy after that. There they are with Florence Arabian still with them, thankfully. See, Florence has managed to carry on. Castro's carried on as well. Panero has carried on in this one as well, despite the damage, but that's exactly what Norman Naselli needed to get up the field here. They're, of course, driving with each other. I'm assuming saving some fuel as well in the early phase of the race. And Nom, of course, trying to keep Naselli there as they drop down the hill, lap car on the inside. But Roseborough is controlling this very well out front.
He's doing a great job, but I'm just laughing at the fact that Aeronom is now in 3rd place. It seems like everything is going his way all of a sudden. He had a bad, beginning into the race, went off track. But with that accident, he's now up in 3rd spot, and we know how good he is in regards to pit strategy. So I'm just going to go back to what Dennis Branch said about him a few weeks ago during an earlier. He called him he's a beast. And that's the perfect way to describe Aeronom, as a beast. You can't get rid of him. His mistakes are minimal. He's always there. So we could be looking at potentially an Aeronom victory once again.
Could be. Kenneth Batley's into pit lane as well, and that's to respond to Stevie Ray, and it's not going to work because Ray's going to get him by quite some margin. And there goes Stevie Ray, and well, Batley was 2nd anyway, so it's not going to matter too much. He's going to slot back into 2nd comfortably in class, but Stevie Ray with the early pit stop is on his way now. Florence Arabian into pit lane now. I would assume that is also to take a faster pair as well as take a fuel stop, but he'll use it for both here. Florence Arabian, they have got a faster pair to use, so he'll come in. That car will get quickly repaired. There it goes, pops nice and shiny and new. He's also going to take fuel and use that as his mandatory pit stop as well. So Florence Arabian going to take that.
2.
Yeah, that's there you go. Arabian on his way out now. As you can see, this is a little battle, Jeff Jacobson and Edgar Sancanelli. So Jacobson up a spot here, chasing after Adam Bradshaw, who is just in front in P9 and running quite well is Adam Bradshaw at the moment, but Jeff Jacobson making steady progress here up behind Bradshaw through the fast right West Bend, and up and over the top of the hill where the car just gets completely light, and it's very, very tricky to keep it in a straight line in some cars. as they drop down nearly at the halfway point of this race now. Lap traffic going to become even more of an issue for the front runners in just a few laps time. Obviously everyone up to Antonio Race has been lapped, as you can see on the overlay on the bottom, and Jacobson trying to make a move here. Sancanelli's trying to follow through.
Big credit to Jacobson and Sancanelli. They're looks like, what was that? Looks like Mark Ian went off, but big credit to Jacobson and Sancanelli, two of our high climbers so far. I'm sorry, Bob Kern as well. Sancanelli's up 12 spots from where he started. Bob Kern is up 14 spots. So these two have been running really strong races so far today.
Yeah, Bob Kern trying to displace Kenneth Batley. After that, I also noticed Batley's actually come out behind Antonio Race as well. So Race made an early stop for damage. And remember, as well for Antonio, he actually started dead last of everybody. So he's trying to make as much progress as he can. Bob Kern leads the Masters at the moment before pit strategy. No sign of him pitting just yet. He's got Dominic Bureau behind him, who is Spec 1. They're going to go side by side down towards the first corner. Massive overspeed for Bureau, but Kern's going to keep it there on the inside through turn 1. Not a hell of a lot you can do on the outside here, really, but great speed carried by Dominic Bureau around the outside of turn 1, and he makes the move stick into that 12th spot. And we make now the halfway point of the race. Mark Ian is behind, but he is a lap down on Kern in front. But gotta make this carefully now if he wants to make his way through past Kern. As Antonio Race, look at that, fastest lap of the race. Wow. 55.074. That is only about 100 slower than the pole time. That would have put him second on the grid if he pulled that off in qualifying, Antonio Race. So he is immensely quick. He's the defending Masters champion, is Antonio. Hasn't gone well for him this season, but he's carrying on a good stead here. There he is up on the back of the front runners right here. You can see that's Berman Rosberg in front of him. He's just sticking to their rear right here, using them, just drag him along. That's going to work for him actually, of course, after his early stop. Just using the leaders and keeping their pace. He doesn't have to work his way through traffic. And he's, of course, on the pace of the leaders at the moment. As you can see, he's in the toe, that lovely double toe that he's got down the front straight. And you'll see now the times: Rosberg, boom, and Nom 55.3, 55.5, and 55.4 for Antonio. 55.1 though for Aero Nom, so he's closing in on them in P3, and he doesn't have a toe, Aero Nom, so he's flying up to the back of these guys, and nobody going in for a stop just yet by the looks of it. Rosberg and Boom just working with each other here, and just trying to minimize the gap deficit to Aero Nom, who's broken away from Maurizio Naselli as well. It's just on another level here. Up and over the top of the crest they go, and it's now going to be just Race sticking in behind for now, and obviously he's not going to try anything silly. We know Antonio just going to stick in behind these two at the head of the field. And the last corner, he did get a very nice run out of the corner there, so it's just got to be careful as they come across the start-finish line once again. Begin lap 25, 55.5, 55.4, and race 55.2 on that lap. There's Marco Pinero carrying the damage from that earlier incident, and now he's in trouble because those are his two competitors, Dudu Castro and Christopher Smith, who have caught up to him, and this is now the fight for the Spec 2 lead.
Yes, it is. Pinero's been ultra fast the two races that we've seen him in. He's gotten into some hard luck, but possibly one of the quickest Spec 2 drivers we've seen in quite a while. Yeah, but getting back to, you were talking about Antonio Race. We saw him almost win Watkins Glen a few weeks ago, so he is bad fast. But also talking about traffic here. There, you know, you mentioned that we're experiencing lack of traffic, which is something we don't get usually at these SRF races. And the tough part about Lime Rock is that there's not many places to really let a guy by or get around a guy. You know, you can't really let someone through at West Bend. It's either you get to let them through the straight here, or even no name straight trying to get by someone, because those are the only two real points, unless someone literally pulls over the side of the road to let you go in regards to lap traffic. Yeah, it's quite tricky for all those runners. That's a lot of smoke right there. That was just a car spinning on the inside, as you can see. Gets back on the road, the 219 machine, and they safely rejoin
Just this is Ian Gibson, peels into pit lane. Pinero trying to make his way past some lap traffic here. It's a tricky place to catch. That's Sankinelli, who's just come out of the pit lane as well. Thankfully, they just managed to carry enough momentum to get by him up towards West Bend. And over the hill, Dudu Castro hunting down Marco Pinero. You can see all those guys there are all Spec 2, just in this shot here, as they come down the hill. The 216 to 303, 783, and it's 229 coming down the front straight. 219 goes wide. Thankfully, gets back on the road, and they come across the start-finish line. But Pinero, even with the damage, is hanging on here very nicely. Dudu Castro being very patient behind him. And Christopher Smith as well, just hanging in there. As we now look, here's Florence Arabian, who's pitted, of course. He's trying to make his way through the traffic now. Coming around, gets past Dominic Bureau. That's a very awkward place to try and pass somebody. And he's going to have less momentum now down the straight. He's got John Payne behind him. And a little bit of, that's a lapped car coming out in front of them into pit lane as well, out from pit exit. And that's the 510 who's just come out in front. And Florence Arabian, of course, getting the jump on John Payne, who pitted earlier on. So Florence has managed to get that move done as Maurizio Naselli. There's the first of the leaders to pit from there. So he's been the first to dive into the pit lane. And let's see how quick this stop is going to be, or where he's going to come out, really. Because he kind of wants to watch the gap to Florence Arabian. Florence won't be too far behind him. And here is Florence dropping down the hill into the last corner now. It's going to be quite close here, depending on how much fuel Naselli puts in here. Down the straight, Naselli's on his way out, as you can see. Here comes Florence now. Naselli's on his way out, and he has managed to get the job done, but a lot of traffic here for Naselli.
He's going to get in front of the traffic.
Contact behind, and Naselli gets some clean air. That's kind of what he needed there, did Maurizio Naselli. And the contact behind has spared him getting caught in traffic, and he has got the job done by a couple of seconds there as he comes through. So that's exactly what Maurizio Naselli needed, clean air.
Well,
let's have a look
there
at the instant that this was Daniel Engel. That's Bob Kern and Mark Guillen behind here. And there's Naselli emerging, and Kern just did he get a little bit too late on the brakes, just tagged, and Guillen gets into Engel as well. And it's a long way over to the pit, to the tire barriers there, as Pinero and Smith pit from these are Spec 2 leaders. Castro's carried on. That mightn't be a bad decision from Castro, as Pinero's also going to get his fast repair, as I think there's a couple of other cars as well. Jeff Jacobson's coming to pit lane as well now. So Dudu Castro now leads Spec 2, and he's gone for an extra lap. Youst Simpkins now second, and Adam Bradshaw third in Spec 2, as we see there is Youst in the 377. Adam Bradshaw a little ways further back in third place, as they now come over West Bend, over the top of the crest, and we'll have to wait to see now where.
Now Kern hasn't come yet either.
No, Kern's still going. He's going really long on this stint, is Bob Kern, versus Stevie Ray, of course. Stevie Ray was the early pitter out of those guys, and Dominic Bureau is now right up underneath him down towards this corner. He's bump drafting him down towards this next corner. Round the right they go, hop in the curb. So Kern going very, very deep into this race with this car, and you can see though he's on the brakes through that corner, so he's coming into pit lane for sure as he comes in to pit lane at last. So Bob Kern comes in.
Here comes Stevie Ray coming on the front stretch.
Yeah, Stevie Ray is going to easily have this one on Bob Kern. Really, Bob Kern, his battle is with Batley, who he was battling with earlier on. So Kern on his way out now. Where is Batley is the next question. Batley needs every point he can get
on the front
as he comes down the straight. Batley's going to get him as they come down the straight. Batley is in front. And there is Kern, so a good undercut strategy from Kenneth Batley there. Gets him into third, but the man who's gained the most, I tell you what, Antonio Reyes, what a strategy, up to second in class. And he's jumped all of them with his early stop for
he's still hanging on to that lead group too.
He's still with the leaders, yeah, you're right. Lap traffic, really awkward spot for Brandon Roseberry here to get through. He still leads this race, by the way, ahead of David Bum, but the gap to Aero Nom has been cut in half since we last looked at it. 1.4 is the gap with Aero Nom up behind here down the front straight. Brandon Roseberry in the 55 machine coming down towards the first corner. We're on board with Aero Nom into the first corner. He can see the guys in front of him. That's Race in front, but you can definitely see Bum and the guys in front of us. They're nearly going side by side for the lead there. Bum's just looking for a space here on Brandon Roseberry. And Aero Nom, what an absolute machine. He's made his way up to these guys in front. He went off in turn 1, dropped to 14th, and now he's back up to P3 and catching the leaders at a rapid rate of knots. And Naselli, of course, has pitted, so he's 32 seconds behind the leaders here, and these guys are going to be pitting very shortly with 10 minutes left in the race. There is still plenty that can happen here in SRF Weekend Warriors. Down the hill they go, through the bottom right. And who is anybody going to pit out of these?
Nom's pitting.
Aaron comes Aero Nom. Aero Nom comes in from P3. Now, this is obviously, he's the master of the strategies. Let's see where this is going to bring him out. So as they come down the straight there, Bum now leads, by the way. He swapped with Roseberry. He's gone for the move. They're side by side for the lead at the front of the field. They don't want to be doing this really with Aero Nom in the pit lanes, but Roseberry hangs on to that. Yao Simpkins into pit lane as well. So Aero Nom has boxed, and he is trying to get himself into some clean air. Of course, he's trying to get out in front of Maurizio Naselli and Florence Arabian here.
He's taking off now.
On his way out, there he is, and he has managed to get in front of Naselli. Indeed, he has, by quite some margin. So Naselli not able to get the jump on Aero Nom, who's made an overcut work once again. He's done an overcut at Lime Rock here, and comes out with about 2 seconds advantage now. And he's got clean air. The guys up front have got to respond immediately, I think. And again, Roseberry has responded. He's come in to the pit lane.
You're right.
Roseberry has. So he's pitted from P2, and he's pitted from the lead, sorry, because he noticed that Nom has pitted. He's absolutely got to respond to Aero Nom straight away. Into the pit lane comes Brandon Roseberry. Going to be a quick stop for him. The gap back to Aero Nom was 30 seconds, and this is going to be very tight on pit exit. Here comes Nom around the last corner on his way down the pit lane. Roseberry's on his way out. I think Roseberry is going to get the job done coming out of the pit lane. There he is, and he has managed to do that. A good response from Brandon Roseberry. He had to make that work then and there, but the gap to Bum is now 29.8 seconds, 27 up to Bum. So this is going to be mega tight on the pit exit between Roseberry and David Bum, because you can see the gap between Roseberry and Nom is 2 seconds, so the pit lane delta is 27.
Bum's in.
28 seconds. Bum is in. He had to respond to Roseberry. He's boxing now from the race lead. Where is he going to come out? He's going to be absolutely neck and neck with Roseberry on the exit. I can tell you that right now. And Dudu Castro pits at last. So he's going to be absolutely neck and neck with Brandon Roseberry. He needs a clean stop here, does David Bum. As in comes Dudu Castro now. Here comes Roseberry. Bum's on his way out now. I think Bum might have done it here down towards the first corner. There's Bum. He has got the job done. David Bum has made the overcut work here at Lime Rock and comes out just about in front of Brandon Roseberry. And beautiful job from David Bum. And they've also managed, they responded and got in front of Aero Nom. They didn't extend this week, and they've managed to get one over on him. Dudu Castro has come out in front of Marco Pinero to take the lead of the Spec 2 category as well. Good job from him. Stevie Ray leads in Masters. He's inside the top 10 as well. There he is, right up behind Pinero, actually. That is Alex Roggenbuck, who's parked on the inside, I think, in turn 1. And then we have
off track there. Let's see what happened.
Yeah, certainly looked like couldn't actually, with David Swig, actually, was it? Who was on the inside of turn.
Yeah, a couple cars up. The car up ahead, and
Pinero! Pinero was very nearly a second victim in the same corner, right there, and he just managed to avoid David Swig.
Oh my God!
PTSD there for Marco Pinero. In turn 1 now, back to the lead battle. David Bum versus Brandon Roseberry.
And there's traffic up ahead, Jack. There's traffic up ahead.
There is a lot of traffic up ahead of these guys. Bum's now got to try and keep Brandon Roseberry by. They've got to be conscious as well. They don't fight too much because Aero Nom will reel them in down towards the double right now, dropping downhill 55 machine going for his first win of the season. Brandon Roseborough through the last corner. Let's see if he can do it. Nearly 34 minutes gone in this race. Now here comes Brandon Roseborough side by side with David Bum. They're going to swap places and no fight put up by David Bum. Loads of speed carried by Roseborough, and he takes the lead on a 55.103 as well on the previous lap. Great effort, personal best lap as well as he comes round the first quarter. 55.2 for Aeronom. So he's made some ground on these guys as well. He's made some ground on David Bum at the very least.
Yeah, all this battling is gonna let Nom back into it.
It certainly is, and you can see the traffic up in front as well. The Roseborough, Bum, all these guys are gonna have to get their way through. They cannot afford to get held up too much in traffic. There's Nom, he's pushing hard over the crest right there. Gets a wheel on the grass on the way through. And, whoa, very much on the grass from the both of them there. They're pushing the limits here, Roseborough and Bum. And they've got to, they know, because this is the final phase of the race. Now, good run from David Bum down the straight. Roseborough breaks the draft down towards turn one. He's trying to defend the inside, weaves back to the outside. Bum, does he go for the move? No. He backs off into turn one. 55.4, 55.4, 55.2. Aeronom is catching them up behind. 1.6 seconds the gap is now.
Does he have enough? Does Nom have enough time, though? We got a little under 5 minutes left.
He needs these guys to fight more. He needs them to get caught up in traffic in these next few laps, and he's going to be working hard though. Aeronom, he wants to get another win in a row and definitely secure himself the title here. Up and over the top of West Bend, 1.5 it drops to momentarily, but Roseborough and Bum are driving sublimely to keep this man behind them up round the top of the hill, dropping down again. 35 minutes gone. There's not long left in this race, as we said. Another 4 or 5 laps remain. Now Roseborough's going to get the tow from the lap traffic in front, which is going to help him a lot, and the gap has gone up to Aeronom behind, exactly what they needed. 55.186. It's marginally lower than it was in the previous lap.
They're going to get stuck behind this lap traffic.
Drops to Bum, gets up underneath Roseborough momentarily. Now Roseborough gets up underneath the lap traffic, and Bum gets through as well in an ideal spot, really, through turn two. And now Roseborough is still clinging on to this race lead, and again Nom 1.3 it drops to now. He just needs to get himself in the slipstream, which is easier said than done. He's going to catch up to the 219 machine on the way through. Also, that's going to give him a tow, but you can see the gap opening up just a small bit as Bum gets loose on the grass down the hill. He is pushing with everything, David Bum, in these last few laps now. Round the last corner, superb run.
Look at all this traffic ahead.
Nom goes through. Look at all the traffic they've got to get through now.
Oh,
here comes David Bum.
To the inside.
He looks to the inside. 55.024, fastest lap for Nom. Bum goes up the inside through turn one, and Nom is with them now. You can see him in the background side by side through the first corner. Roseborough hangs the inside for turn two, and he hangs on to the race lead for now. Round turn two, but look now, look at the gap to Nom. It's a second. Back to Aeronom now. He is very much in this fight. There he is. He's got the distant tow off the cars in front as well. This is going to work out for Aeronom, I think, and he's going to be fighting for this race win as he does every single week. But Brandon Roseborough is driving really well to try to hang on for a first race win here at Lime Rock. Round over the crest, down the hill they go again. They will have just under 38 minutes gone in this race. Not long left. Look at Roseborough trying to get the draft from the lap car in front as well. He's trying everything to get a little advantage here. The lap car gets well out of the way down towards the first corner, but round turn one they go. 55.4, 55.6, 55.1. Car off on the outside. That's another car is taken to the grass. That's
going to catch up.
Sancanelli's going to get in the way.
He's caught.
He's going to try to get him inside. Sancanelli there just rejoining, and now there's going to be traffic in the way for Brandon Roseborough. And here's Aeronom. He's definitely with them now.
This is playing right into Nom's hands, Jack. It's playing right into his hands right here. All this traffic.
This is working. Yeah, this traffic, Roseborough is going to be fuming here. He needs to get past this traffic as quickly as he
can. He can't get past him till the straight.
He's going to be stuck behind, and Edgar Sankinelli now is working into the hands of Aaron. Gets on the grass now. Bum's loose on the grass as well, dropping down the hill. Sankinelli is working this one for Aeronom. Down towards the last corner they go. Through over the start-finish line again. 2 laps to go in this race. Across the line, Roseborough dives to the inside of the lap traffic. And again, Bum goes through and survives another attack on this race. He goes a little bit deep. Bum's on his inside as they come round turn 1. He hangs on. More lap traffic for Roseborough now. Up in front of him. I can't quite, I think, yeah, that's another lap car that's in front of him. Yeah, the 893 machine is in front. Dudu Castro just binned it from the lead, a Spec 2 as well.
Oh, no.
As we now wait to see who is going to take the win in this one. There's going to be 1 lap to go across the line. More lap traffic for Roseborough. Up the hill. Oh,
Gibson gets loose.
He's had to tap him. He's had to tap him. And David Bum's alongside, coming through the right-hander now. He's lost the place now. Bum's up his inside. But now,
too wide down West Bend.
It's the last lap of the race coming up right now, and here comes Aeronom on the back of the both of them down the straight. Now it's going to go 3 wide. Roseborough hangs on, but Aeronom's got the run on the outside line. He's come from nowhere. 3
wide into Big Ben won't work.
Roseborough's up the inside,
big touch
on the way through. Roseborough hangs the outside line. David Bum's got the inside around turn 1. It's still side by side down towards turn 2, and Roseborough hangs on for now. Coming through turn 2 and turn 3, he's got a small advantage. Kern's in the way. He collects Bob Kern around, who was sat on the apex, and Roseborough hangs on for now up towards West Bend for the last time. What is SRF Weekend Warriors week in and week out? It gives us this round towards the last corner now. Roseborough trying to hang on for a race when this is going to go for it between these guys. Here they go around the last corner. Big clout of the curb. Here we go to the line between Roseborough and David Bum. Who's going to get it here at Lime Rock?
It's going to be Roseborough.
A run for the line. Roseborough gets it on the line. 8/100ths of a second. Aeronom is P3. Florence Arabian P4, and now we wait for the leads of the other classes. Marco Pinero is going to win again in Spec 2 despite the incidents. We had an off for Dudu Castro in the last lap, and Pinero is going to take Spec 2, and Stevie Ray is going to win the Masters category here.
Great race, Stevie Ray.
Great drive from Stevie Ray. Today, Antonio Race, a hat tip to Antonio last up to P11.
Let's take a look what happened with Castro. Take a look at that. We've seen all the excitement. We lost track. So here's Dudu right here, and he just looks like did he just lose him in West Bend? Oh no! Yep. I think we saw a Ferrari do that years ago in ALMS race. So. Woo.
Yeah, I'm so unfortunate. Dudu Castro, the win was there for the taking, and it slips through his fingers as, well, Brandon Roseborough, I have to say, a well-deserved victory for Brandon Roseborough. How much pressure was he under for that whole race, and he somehow fended off the attacks of David Bum and Aeronom, who recovers to P3 in this race. Florence Arabian 4th, John Payne and Maurizio Naselli. Marco Pinero takes the win in Spec 2. Stevie Ray, great drive from Stevie, he takes the win in the Masters. Yaus Simpkins is 2nd in Spec 2. And Christopher Smith is P3. There's Antonio, who drove from last up to 2nd in class, P11 overall. Steve Elson, Jeff Jacobson, and Adam Bradshaw. Kenneth Batley finishes 3rd in class and closes the gap in the championship going into the final round. Great job from Kenneth. Dudu Castro limps across in 16. Dominic Bureau and Jose Santiago, of course, everyone else here will be a lap down. And Ian Gibson, Edgar Sankinelli, Flavio Andalo, Mark Gehan, Jonathan Mino, Bob Kern, who got punted around on the last lap by Brandon Roseborough, who still managed to get across the line to win the race. Great job. Darren Kuhn, Alex Roggenbuck, David Swig, Daniel Engel, then a few others. Such a shame. Austin Winner, Wang Shilin. Imagine if those guys were in the middle of that as well.
Oh, man.
And Roland Wallbank, who didn't take the start, I believe, of this race. But wow. It never fails to impress SRF Weekend Warriors. And, well, it's been a great race at Lime Rock. Lime Rock never disappoints, really, with these cars. And, well, it's going to be great to
Yeah.
see. Anyways, we have got one driver who always comes for a chat with us. Aeronom is just going to hop in and have a quick chat with us. Aeronom is with us in the commentary booth. Aero, not quite the win today. Small error in turn 1 dropped you down the order, but a good recovery to P3 nonetheless.
Yeah, I think I have to be happy with this. I was at 7 seconds and I was 18th after lap 2, so I take it.
Yeah, it seemed this week that getting past lapped traffic was very, very key. Obviously, it's obviously quite hard to pass at Lime Rock, so getting past all the lapped guys and making your way through the field must have been quite difficult.
Yeah, especially when they take the racing line, it's very hard to go outside. It's also dangerous, so lap traffic was, yeah, it was a little bit difficult.
Absolutely. Well, we have just one more round of the championship next week, and well, you've pretty much sealed it tonight. But we'll get one more race out of you anyways. But how have you found being back in the championship this year? Of course, you weren't in it last year, but great to come back and obviously secure the championship with such a large margin.
Oh yeah, it took a few rounds to get used to the car. It was the same for everybody, but yeah, I think I adapted at the end. I was a little bit faster every week, but not this week. So yeah, but in the end, this race I just ran out of fuel, so that's why I didn't win.
Ah, okay. So more fuel issues with these cars, but nonetheless, just one more week left, and of course, then we can officially call you the champion. We can't quite do it this week, but we have a few more championships to wrap up. But Aero, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to say a quick thank you to or give a shout out to?
Yeah, like always, I like to thank the league admins, all the drivers here, and you guys in the booth.
Thanks very much. Well, Aero, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations on your great recovery to P3, and we'll see you for one more round next week.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.
So, Aeronom, I think a satisfied Aeronom this week. Normally, of course, early in the championship, he was quite a little bit critical of his own driving, but this week he seemed quite happy with how he recovered.
I would consider he seemed really happy this week. You know, he had a pretty good race. He climbed back up and had a really solid 3rd place. But speaking of guys that finished ahead of Aeronom, looks like I'm going to drag David Bohm if you want to talk to David, Jack.
Yeah, David is here with us. I hope he can hear us. But David, if you're with us, of course, wow, what a battle to the very end of the race. Just missing out by 0.08 of a second. That was a really good race.
Yes, indeed, it was very intense. It was a really fun race. At the beginning, I had very much luck. I could avoid 2 almost contacts. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, we saw. And obviously, we've only got one more round left in the championship. How have you found the championship this year in the new car?
Oh, it was amazing. I liked it very much. It was really good.
Yeah, we thought so too. But a great race at the very end between you and Brandon. It seemed that it was all coming together because of the lapped traffic. He seemed to be able to get slipstream from the lapped traffic, and it seemed quite hard to overtake here.
Yes, most of the time I just saved fuel, so I could get by at the pit, but it was not enough to make more distance between the P2. So it was again fighting for me.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, with just one more round left in the championship, and well, you're sitting 2nd in the championship anyways, but obviously been a good championship for you. And before we let you go, David, is there anyone you'd like to say a quick thank you to?
As usual, everybody who supports me.
Great job. Well, David, congratulations on P2, and hopefully we'll see you again next week for one more round.
Thank you.
So that was David Bum, who joined us this week. And I believe, actually, we do have one more.
do.
Brandon Roseborough is with us, our race winner. Brandon, welcome. Wow, what a finish between you and David. Just 8/100s. You managed to hang on for so long. That must feel good.
Yeah, that was intense. Actually, this is my first time in the interview room and doing this race with Weekend Warriors. It was awesome.
Yeah, well, you certainly made an impression taking the win off that. That was a really last lap, it looked like, because looked like it was lap traffic everywhere. Even got into the back of one of the lap traffic and still somehow managed to hang on.
Yeah, that was pretty close. Yeah, sorry to Bob if he's watching or anything, but like I tried to like go as wide as I could when he stopped at the apex, but I guess I didn't go wide enough, so sorry to him. But yeah, lap traffic was insane.
Yeah, obviously it seemed having the track position advantage seemed to be very, very good here, because I think it seemed to us anyways that once a car took that inside line or held the race in line, it seemed impossible to overtake.
Oh yeah, passing at Lime Rock has always been a challenge, so yeah, definitely staying ahead was key to staying in the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just seeing the move that got you the race win there down the front straight, and well, obviously you have been in the championship for the whole thing, but well, obviously making an impression in a first race win. Can we expect you back next week or even for the new season?
I won't be around next weekend, but definitely for the new season. I'm loving the new updates to the SRF, so I'll be back.
Well, that's what we like to hear, that we have a new challenger approaching. But yeah, a brilliant race today, Brandon. Before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a quick thank you to or a shout out to?
First of all, shout out to my team RSR, and then also thank you to Wanchi, because he's the one that invited me to this series, and it's been a great time so far. I'm loving it.
Great stuff. Well, Brandon, thank you very much for hopping in. Congratulations on the well-deserved race win, and we'll see you hopefully in the new season.
All right, thanks guys. Take care.
That was Brandon Roseborough. So first race, first win. How about that? That doesn't happen too often in SRF, but it'd be nice to see him join the grid for the new season, because we need a new challenger to go up against Aeronom. So well, it's been a fantastic round here at SRF Weekend Warriors, presented by RaceVoice. All their links are in the description as well, by the way. I've been Jack Canan. He's been Jonathan Grabowski, who's operated the cameras and also managed to do commentary as well this week. Many thanks to him. And we will see you all for just one more time next week for the final round of the SRF Weekend Warriors Championship. And join us here on Apex Racing TV, same time next week. It's been a pleasure. Thank you and good night.